Hello again, and welcome for a momentous day. Hopefully, it's 3 points. But how's it in Merseyside, Corey?
I'm over the water, to be fair, but judging by everyone else that I know, Facebook and stuff like that, it's a mega day. I've got people, got friends who have flew all the way from Guernsey to come just for today. So look, everyone's right up for it. I think there's some emotions as well, but I think it's more excitement more than anything, just to kind of get to experience it. Obviously, the scenes from around the ground, which you can see online, it looks amazing. I don't think anyone can see anything past the colour blue smoke, can they, at the moment?
Yeah,
But it looks bedlam, but it looks like a really good atmosphere there at the moment, and hopefully that party atmosphere continues all the way past full time, and the team gives reason for that.
yeah. I was trying to pull up, as you know, I'll go to Twitter or X, whoever Elon wants to call it these days, and bring up the starting lineup. And it actually took me about 5 minutes to find it because everything is blue flare videos, which is amazing. Inconvenient for me, but also just awesome seeing the blue smoke. And I haven't had time to process it because I'm finishing work quickly, trying to get some food, look slightly presentable instead of having a sweaty outfit on, nice and clean and presentable. And I'm coming here and going, man, what a day I'm missing just by not being in Merseyside. But you know what? In a way, it's not. It's for me to be a fan here, but it's for those of Liverpool to truly take in. So I'm sitting as a spectator saying, everyone that's in Liverpool, it's your day.
Yeah, certainly. I mean, like you can see from the scenes, it is bedlam. Everyone's absolutely loving it. Mr. Blue Sky's there, blue smoking, big crowds at 8:30 in the morning, and that's it. I got up, chilled a little bit, opened my phone, and you could see Goodison Road was just absolutely crammed. I think someone mentioned that the club announced that the coach would have to take a different route because it was that packed. Literally just looking at the scenes now on TNT, and I've never ever seen. I've seen Goodison and Goodison Road packed like that, but not to that extent. Like if anyone's got TNT on in the background as well, you can just see how ridiculously crazy it is.
Yeah, I know Adam was going to join us here in a bit, and potentially Corey as well. And Adam, he was trying to figure out how to be on this show with us while actually trying to hear some of the commentary, seeing the live content, and being actually part of the build up. So it's tricky for those that, for us in a way, because we can't hear the audio. For those that are listening in along with us and maybe have the ability to multitask, feel free to add in the chat as things are going along, things that you've seen throughout the day or heard, or what you're seeing on, I don't know, Sky, TNT over in Australia. It'd be Optus, but keep those comments going. I know it's I doubt we're going to be the focal point to store your emotions and give you all the answers you've been looking for in life, but we can try.
And just to give you an idea of how busy it is here, Stevie's just told me that the sellers are all sold out of badges, which never ever happens. So
Of
it's
course,
there's
they're out of badges. They're out of everything.
yeah.
Mavsy's bought 7 of every color because he falls for every trick in the book.
The infinity badges.
Yeah. So Kevin saying only Evertonians can multitask. Yeah, I sometimes it's a rough day at work trying to multitask. I'm seeing a lot of Seamus Coleman and Abdullah Decore comments. Do we want to go to the starting lineup briefly? I know we're going to bounce around a whole lot and probably
Yeah,
go
let's
back
go
to it
for it.
here in a
Yeah.
little bit. So let's go there first. Assuming my laptop behaves, which usually it does. So let's get us graphics looking nice and presentable. And there we have it. So, no surprise there. Jar Virginian goals. Oh, whoop, that was Jordan Pickford, my bad. Seamus Coleman is starting, which there was you had some interesting comments, Corey. I think it was you want him to start so that he can get the standing ovation to leave at 60 minutes. And if there's any mistake in the final minutes, it's not on him. And I
No, so it
think
was the
I
other way
can
around.
see that being it. And he can walk us out the tunnel that
So
one
no,
final
it
time.
was Stevie and
That's
Ryan
very
who
good.
said that.
Oh,
I'm
is it?
happy with that. I was if he's fit enough to come on and play, that is paid to lead the team out and play, fantastic. But I was more a case of it's splitting hairs. I'm absolutely delighted with either or as long as he's on the pitch, as long as he's captain in the side at Goodison. I wanted him to maybe come on the pitch at 60 minutes so he could be the last ever captain on the pitch, because if he has to comes off, someone else will have that thing. And of course, if he comes onto a standing ovation when he comes on as a sub, which would also happen, and then he'll be able to get to walk around the ground and finish as the Goodison's final captain. So, but I'm not upset that he's starting. Even though it was fantastic, it was just a slight preference.
Yeah, and for those that listen to us do Corey's, I guess, Goodison Nostalgia series, you know that the Gladys is always standing up. Would it be awkward if they had a sitting ovation because they're standing up all match and they sit down and be like, what did I do wrong? Because then at least they'd have to make the effort to sit down instead of standing and just clap again.
Do you know what? I just don't think you could contain the Everton fans, especially in the Gladys Street today. I can imagine them barely sitting down at all today. To be honest, everyone will be stood up, arms stretched out, singing in full voice. I'd expect.
Yeah, I'm sure there's going to be quite a mixture of content reactions from us. I know for the likes of Adam and I and Chad were all not in the UK, so we aren't able to go to the match, I believe. And Corey's near Mersey, but not going to the game, which means we have Ryan, Basil, Stevie, Mabsy, and I'm missing all going. So we're likely to get. And I think you saw a little primer video for later today. Well, afterwards they're going to be. I imagine it's going to be a hodgepodge of people making quick shows, doing reactions, and it'll be quite spur of the moment based on network and what's going on at the ground. But keep an eye out for everything post match. It'll be a bit too late for me to do anything. I imagine Corey, though, you and Chad at least will be ready around the full-time whistle to get us going for any post-match reactions. Yeah.
Yeah,
so it could be
I'll have the post-match. I'll have the post-match festivities on as well. I think that's on TNT Red Button on YouTube as well.
Yeah, that's gonna be awesome. I'm gonna be after this just tucked in bed on an iPad. I can't watch Premier League out here in a rural Aussie pub. Everyone's watching AFL, so got to do it solo, mate. But yeah, the other exciting news that you probably noticed, Corey, and those in the chat too, that after a year hiatus and kind of break from doing continuous content with Follow Everton and probably a little bit of just the mundane quality of, hey, we're playing terrible again. Are we going to avoid relegation? Robbie and Wes are going to be coming back to the channel. Exactly in what capacity, I'm not too sure yet, but Ryan made that announcement, so very excited to have them back. They have quite a unique duo or combination when they're talking. I love listening to them almost as a podcast and when I'm working and what have you, or as a nice on a nice drive on their late night blues. Hopefully they bring that back, and Hinge and Bracket are back on the menu. So that's quite exciting. Unrelated to today, but who knows? Maybe you see some more content from them as well.
Yeah. And going back to the starting lineup, so Seamus Coleman in at right back, Jake O'Brien back in instead of Michael Keane at centre back, and then the only other major changes, so Ndiaye McNeil in their respective positions, and Abdoulaye Corey is in instead of Charlie Alcaraz. What do you make of that team for the final of the game at Goodison?
I like it. I think sorry, Adam's trying to get onto the show here, so give me 1 second while I pull that up for him and I multitask. As Kevin said, I can do it. I just may not be perfect at it. So the main thing I was thinking about was, if you're going to beat Southampton, other than let them fall on their own sword, is, well, create an environment where they can fall on their own sword, meaning they like to play out from the back. They make continuous errors out from the back. And although he's a wild card for us, as you've heard me talk with Ryan about it, Abdoulaye Corey is going to be able to cause turnovers high up the pitch, be a menace for them if he's on form, and we could basically win high up, win the ball high up the pitch and score quick and easy if they're making errors from the back. And I think from what you're saying, they have quite a weakened squad today.
And it's just one or two players in and around. Ugachukwu in midfield has been replaced by Joel Aribo. So that's probably the main thing. He's probably the one who gives them the most stability or the most strength in that central midfield. and I believe Wood is playing as well. Now he's played a few games for Southampton, but he didn't really start the season, I believe. So there's just one or two players. They've moved more to the likes of Matheus Fernandes has been moved forward instead of playing deep. Ty Diblin as well. So they've not got as much width as they have done previously, from what I can see compared to the players that they had watching them earlier on in the season. So they probably will still want to pass the ball around because that's how they play. But I just don't know. I think they're going to maybe try and cut through the middle and try and cut through our midfield a little bit more. Whereas us, we're probably happier to push teams out wide and deal with crosses.
Yeah, and I think the only reason I could see Everton having trouble on a day like today, other than taking Southampton for granted, which we've done twice, and somehow we find a way to fall on our own sword or fall on our own whatever we cause our own mess when it comes to Southampton. We've played really poor against them twice. And today, what we hope partly is that the Goodison faithful isn't demanding a goal in the first minute. We kind of shake up strategy, because what I could actually see is just Southampton are committed to their game. They're going to play from the back. We play sort of a mid block, not going too aggressive straight off the bat, but let them get comfortable playing on their back five, basically. And then the second they try and go further, we win the possession back and just go. And then sneak a little bit further and further along, and all of a sudden, 15, 20 minutes in, we're higher up the pitch and being a little bit more aggressive. Looks like Adam's right about there. He's playing around with his camera, though, so let's see if we can bring him in as well. So we've got Adam, I think.
Hello.
There we go. He's going all portrait mode on us, so why don't we change the viewer so we can all see each other?
Is that better?
Yeah, that's good. So Adam, did you get to... How you doing?
Good. How are you?
Good. Excited.
Oh man. So Sheamus is starting.
Yes.
Yeah.
How good
you've
is
got
that?
a great Irish
How
accent.
good is
Adam.
that?
Keep going.
And I was just listening to my man Leon Osmond, and he was getting interviewed, and he actually said that David Moyes told him about a week ago. I was just listening to the commentary. David Moyes told Leon Osmond about a week ago that he intended to start Seamus Coleman for this game. So I really like that.
Yeah, always. Yeah. It's nice. It's what he deserves. I'm looking at the scenes now
sure.
and the amount of legends walking across the pitch now. You've got obviously Peter Reid, Big Dunk, Jags, Tim Cahill, all walking across. I know Neville Southall's there at the moment. I can see Sylvan Distant, Jermaine Beckford. I know some of them aren't as much legends, but Gareth Barry.
Okay, I don't know about you, but I think I'm watching some ads. I think I'm a little bit behind because my internet's pretty average on site. So hang on, I've got to go back live again. Yeah, so I did see Big Dunk come out of there with all the fans. They also said on the commentary that the fans were there from like 8 o'clock in the morning.
Yeah,
with the blue flares.
Yeah, I checked round about 8:30, and there was plenty there, and the blue flares were already going off. So
yeah, wow,
it's like a J.K. Rowling book release. Everyone's up there nice and early trying to get the. There's no line.
Yeah.
You're just in the spirit of it.
But how good is that, though, that Sheamus is leading him out, like for one last game? There's the really sad thing about I did see another player get interviewed, and that was old Tarkowski. He played over 111 odd games or whatever in the Premier League, and then the last like 4 games of the season leading into the the end of the era for Goodison and the start of a Bradley Moore, he gets injured. Like that's just so unfortunate. And he's actually been a real, like, since he came to Everton, he was club captain and helping out when Sheamus wasn't available. So he's really pulled his weight, I think. So.
Yeah,
I mean, knowing our bench depth, maybe we just have Tarkowski instead of a second goalkeeper for once, and then he could just be there wearing a goalkeeper outfit and then just get yellow carded by harassing the fourth official. We're all good,
actually,
right?
Yeah, speaking of goalkeepers, I actually seen today, so Ashley Young is not being rewarded a contract extension, so he's leaving.
Yep.
They've already started the cull. Apparently, also Jal Virginia and also Asmir Begovic are all leaving as well. So that means that essentially Pickford is our number 1 goalkeeper, and we don't have a number 2. So Yeah, it looks like they've
We
already
have
started.
Pickford, who plays in the under 18s, doesn't he? Jay
Yeah,
Pickford.
we've got Pickford 1 and Pickford 2.
Yeah, righto. But yeah, it's just interesting, yeah, just watching back all the highlights from Goodison and stuff like that, and I actually listened back to my the interview that Chris did with my dad, and I was there for, and just listened back to that yesterday, and it was just so awesome to sort of hear that, it's just, yeah, it's what we sort of love. I mean, if you live in and live and breathe football, and you're actually in and around Liverpool and stuff, it's obviously even, it's escalated even more. Imagine being there today, but obviously we're at work, and me and Chris are both on the mines in Oz, so it's a very different feel. But we're watching it from digital technology and
Dongers.
iPads, and we and dongers, and making sure that we have good Wi-Fi is crucial for my night. But for others, it's like the Wi-Fi is not essential, and it's just being actually in the stadiums and other things. So yeah,
We
so
have the
different
Wi-Fi.
for all these
So Mike
fans
has to-
all around the world.
Yeah. So there was another, and if Corey comes in at some point, he'll add to this as well. But I thought that was a very interesting contract leak today, where they heard was it the Bobble mentioned he's Ashley Young has got a contract extension. Then very quickly it was the opposite, and Corey had this Game of Thrones-esque reference where he thought potentially that Everton are trying to find the leaky source, and that the Bobble was it, which I thought was kind of interesting.
Oh, hang on. So I think they're just talking about the new Brownlee Stadium, and yeah, like Chris and I have, I don't know if you know, Corey, have actually purchased some stones there with our names on them.
Yeah, nice.
Yeah.
The Everton Walkway, is it? What it's called?
Yeah. My dad's got one as well. We bought one for him. So yeah, it's going to be. I'm actually hopefully going to get over there and watch the Crystal Palace game in the this year in a couple of months. So hopefully
We just need to find him
that could be really
tickets.
cool.
Anyone on the chat that know how to get Adam tickets, let us know, and we'll happily.
Yeah, drop in and let me know how to get a ticket. I need 2.
Drop in the links, mate.
Yeah.
How do you think the game's going to go today, then, lads?
Oh, I am hoping for a thrashing, is what I'm hoping for. I just wanted the boys to rip it.
Yeah.
Shoot from 40 yards. I don't care.
Yeah, I think 3-1. I think we'll be up 2-0. They'll score 1 goal. We get slightly nervous, and we make it back to 3-1.
I can see that. I think as long as there's goals, we need to go for it. We need to give everyone something to cheer for. Just keep Goodison bouncing all the way through for about 100 minutes.
I agree. Yeah, I agree. We need to keep it rocking the whole time. I'm watching. Yeah. I'm watching all the. I think it was Peter Reid there. Yeah. Silva Distan, Timmy. Oh God, I've met him. I've Wayne Rooney.
This is like a watch along of a watch along now. Adam's watching the TV, and we're watching him talking about him watching the TV. This is one too many matters, Adam.
Hey Chris, I've sat in his seat. I've sat in David Moyes' seat.
It's not David Moyes'. It's the Goodison ladies.
Do you know what?
When I was there, it's Moyes' seat, and look at it, it's Moyes' seat again. How weird's that?
It's, you know what? This is beautiful because it's literally like fans like from around. It just shows the reach that it has. Like watching you, Adam. It's literally like watching like a kid. Like you sound like an excited child, and it's beautiful.
I am, yeah.
It's just like it's going man, but it just makes you. It turns you into that because of that much love, and like it's like we said in the obviously the Goodison nostalgia series that we're doing, is it's just that what being at the ground does to you. It still takes you back to being that kid and the excitement of seeing your heroes even as a grown man.
Yeah, it's really interesting because Chris asked my dad, what would you want to see, or how do you want to bring Everton to the new stadium? And he said, it's this. Well, I'm not sorry, I don't have an Everton shirt on me right now, but it's your shirt. It's blue. It's memories, and we've got memories from Goodison. We take them now. We'll never lose them. But when we go to the new stadium, we're all going to be wearing blue. So it's something that I think an Everton fan can create there as a whole, as a unit, as a club, and as a fan base. I think that's really cool.
Yeah, it is. We're taking something historic. Like you said, we just need to transfer it to where we're going next, don't we? Revel and love the history, but it's a new era. A lot of things are changing. Obviously, the new stadium, players out of contract, the new owners. There's so much going on that we really need to be going into the new stadium.
I don't actually think a lot of Evertonians know how we're going to go this season coming, be the new season, because there is an enormous reshuffle of players. There's going to be a huge revamp. But Moyes was sort of saying that I don't want to do it I know how big of a job it is, and I don't want to do too much, which kind of scares me that they're going to try and keep some of the loan players and not do too much of a reshuffle.
Or a pay raise, maybe, Adam?
Give Decore extension. Keep Calvert-Lewin. Potentially keep Jack Harrison on another loan.
And maybe Jack Grealish shows up, your favorite guy.
Yeah.
The hair that you wish you had and Corey kind of has.
I'm nowhere near that, mate. So look at the volume.
They were just interviewing Jags as well.
Ryan on TNT.
Yeah.
Ryan's not talking about Goodison. He's just complaining about our fullbacks again.
No, it's still Ryan. You know, the young lad who does a lot of media for the club and that.
Oh, okay. Sorry, I was thinking he meant Ryan, like Mr. Grant Ryan, the Ryan wedding singer Ryan.
No. They only put him up past the walls to shed, I think.
Yeah. I saw Peter's message, and I haven't been keeping tabs on Stefan Borson, that Man City finance guy, but feel free
I'm looking at the Everton
if it's,
managers.
if it's PG, I can post what's going on there.
And yeah, I mean, Richard Masters was also there. He was walking through the crowd.
Can you see that, Chris?
Adam, we don't want to get in trouble by showing content that isn't ours off TNT, you know. It's bad enough you're doing talk-alongs about the audio while you're here. Ryan would give you a slap over the wrist for insufficient audio qualities, so be careful.
Richard Masters was there. He was walking through the crowd. He was getting a couple of boos. A couple of people were giving him a bit of grief. Probably not enough grief as well in my mind. I'm surprised he wasn't getting a lot more shouts at him. I don't think he should have been welcome at the ground for today as well, after everything he tried to do.
You know, I'm surprised that Denise Barrett-Baxendale didn't walk out between Tim Cahill and Sylvain Distin. That would be...
Have you seen the size of Sylvain Distin now? He looks bigger.
Yeah,
meaner.
I mean, he was always known as Buzz Lightyear. Is he a bigger Buzz?
I think he's a bigger Buzz.
It's the shape of the head, wasn't it?
Yeah.
So, Kevin, I've moved to the back to Australia now. So I am in Perth with Adam, but we're both working remote. I'm in Norseman and Adam's somewhere in the Pilbara, working remotely.
That's it.
Yeah.
And I had to do me washing tonight, so logistics tonight was pretty hard.
I know Peter Duggan there asking about the celebrity Evertonians, Tony Bellew. I think Amanda Holden also said she's going to be there. And I don't know if she's going to be there, but I know
who's the celebrity boxer? What's his name? He's a mad Evertonian too.
Tony Bellew, yeah, he'll be there today. He said he's going to be there. I think Amanda Holden also said she's going to be there. As Aussies, you might not know who she is, boys. She's not exactly A-list. But Dame Judi Dench, I'm sure you know who she is.
Yeah.
Yeah, Dame Judi Dench, and I know she'd done on Sky Sports News, they've done a 10-20 minute thing all about Goodison Park, and she had a big speech on there about how much she loves Everton and how great it was to actually visit Goodison and the amount of memories it's got for her, which is mad because I think she's from Yorkshire, so I don't even know where her ties to the city are, but she's a massive Everton fan, which is blows my mind. It's mad.
They're interviewing Graham Stewart now.
Oh, they are?
Yeah.
Well, this just in. Adam Romano telling us live from TNT Sports. Optus. Yeah. So, Corey, how many people, what percentage of working eligible men tomorrow do you think won't show up to work? 10%? 5%?
I reckon you get about 30% or more, mate. The amount of people, like I said, everyone you see in the crowd, and I'm not surprised. Everyone I know who's going is pretty much been on the ale since about 8 o'clock this morning. I'm pretty sure I seen one of the lads on Facebook with two cans of Peroni about 7:30.
Having a few bevies, eh?
Yeah. Mate, honestly, it's literally just, I mean, 8 o'clock in the morning or 8:30 in the morning, there was literally queues round the block just to get like the brick and things like that. So,
how far are you away from the stadium, Corey?
Good as the crow flies, not far at all. But I'm over the river. So I've got to take a detour, go through a tunnel. But like yesterday, we were. I can't hear the road or anything like that. I'm too far away. There's a river in between. But as the crow flies, I'm actually not that far at all. And the new stadium.
It's Chris. The toppy lady's out. I'm not going to show you, but the toppy lady's out.
And the new stadium, I'm about 90-second walk from being literally over the water, looking at the new stadium.
Yeah, wow.
So we would actually, me and the missus were actually sat there on the beach yesterday, literally looking at the stadium, bottle of champagne, just enjoying the view.
Yeah, nice.
So obviously a lot of people here, bit of discourse in regards to the Corey, him on, a lot of concern, like we said about him keeping him on for another year. I'm not surprised that the Corey is starting because I think Moyes trusts him. But
can I just butt in? I don't actually haven't even seen the team lineup. All I've heard is Seamus Coleman's playing, and that's all I know.
All right, we'll bring it up for you, Adam.
I assume Jordan Pickford's going to play. Okay, Pickford.
Yeah, there you go, Adam.
Oh, so O'Brien's back in. That's awesome. Bramthwaite, Mikolenko,
Michael
Garner and James, Decore, McNeil, Ndiaye and Beto. That's interesting. Beto started. McNeil's in. Ndiaye's in. Oh no, I had Alcaraz on Charlie.
FBL.
Fantasy.
You're not going to beat me this year, Adam. Your differential's going to backfire.
Yeah, Corey, I got it out on Charlie on me fantasy, and he's obviously benched, but I think he's going to come on and get in the goal and assist.
Yeah, hey, mate, I wouldn't be surprised, mate. He's been fantastic.
I'm actually really impressed with him, and there was something that stood out the other game when he played. It was against Fulham, where he won it. Well, the ball was going out, and he absolutely shoulder barged one of the Fulham players to protect the ball for us to win the corner. And you see guys shield the ball and stuff like that, but I've never seen an Everton player shoulder barge someone that aggressively to try and keep the ball at that moment. So that to me actually stood out a lot from him. I don't know about you if you saw that, but he really wanted the corner. And it looks like he puts a bit between his teeth and he really gets stuck in, and I really like that. Yeah, he's got a fair bit of quality as well. Like I think he's a really good player.
He's got that graft, hasn't he? That fight in him. That Evertonians love. It's very much part of our DNA. So
correct, yeah. When I saw that from him that game against Fulham when he did that, I was like, I haven't actually seen that type of aggression and energy from the players. I'm not saying I'm not digging out any of the players at all. I'm just saying
that being captain. But outside of him, I don't really.
Yeah, correct. And I'm not having a dig at anyone. It's just I saw that and I thought it was a level above what I've seen.
Yeah, no, it stands out definitely more than a lot of players.
It stands out. Yeah, you can see when he gets up.
Yeah, especially for the size and the fact that he's a playmaker. He's more of an artistic player as opposed to that kind of aggressive kind of old school kind of player. So the fact he's got a bit of both, we can appreciate the quality because we really need that. But the fact he's got that, the fact that he wants to fight, is amazing. I think it's important.
And I think we've been lacking a bit of both. That bit of determination to drive forward with the ball. He can actually make a difference. He can be the spark as well. Ndiaye does that as well. But it's just something that between Charlie and Ndiaye, between the both of them, they really get you off your seat. And I think we've been lacking that type of player ilk in the team for quite a few number of years. What do you guys think about that?
Chris, about just Charlie being that raw character we're looking for?
Yeah, that raw character. Yeah, but I think Charlie's got that. He kind of reminds me a little bit about Richarlison, how he, just the way he plays and the style he plays as well.
Yeah, sometimes the emotion gets the better of him, but you appreciate him for it.
Yeah, and I really like that, and I haven't seen it since probably Richie. So
yeah, he's got what it takes to be an Everton cult hero. The ability will on top of that will make him an Everton hero, especially if he stayed for a long while and won something with us. But he certainly has the makings of an Everton cult hero if he was to sign for us on a permanent to spend a couple of years here.
Yeah.
Well, who was the one you were talking about yesterday, Corey, in like 2011 that you really liked? The Argentinian guy.
Dennis.
Yeah. Does he remind you a bit of his like kind of rawness and passion, or is it a bit different?
Do you know what? No, so the one who reminds me most is probably Beto, because they both lack that kind of technical ability. Although Beto was a much better player and striker than Dennis Tracolese was, but they are, especially because it helps because they've got their size, but they run through a brick wall, and if they lose the ball, they'll just keep running to get it. And Charlie probably does have a bit of that in him, but Dennis Tracolese, and I think part of it was because he wasn't the greatest footballer, but he ran his socks off that you really wanted him to do well. He was like a steam engine once he got going, you know what I mean? But yeah, he wasn't the greatest footballer, but he's very much appreciated for how much he wanted to do well, the effort he put in despite his short givens in terms of his ability.
Yeah, gotcha. All right. So on the bench, who do we see coming on? Calvert-Lewin. Yeah, I see him showing on for the last 20. Yeah. I see Ashley Young potentially coming on to backfill Coleman if it isn't Harrison.
Eric Burnham and Alcaraz I'd like to see on.
Give him a standing ovation because he might be out of contract and he deserves all the credit and thanks at Goodison as well. So I think Coleman needs an ovation. Ghana Gay. If we do Corey, no one's going to give him the ovation.
I mean, it could be the Corey drop deep and then we put Alcaraz on for Ghana, you know what I mean? But I think the Corey will come off halfway through the game. If we're really struggling, and I just really would have liked to see Charlie Alcaraz on the in that position because we really want to go for it. We really want to create them moments and go for the game, and we want everyone to enjoy it. And I think it's more likely to happen with Alcaraz pulling the strings a bit further up than the Corey.
So
do you guys get the keep going, Chris?
You've probably heard that Southampton seem to give whoever is playing right midfield or the right side of whoever's attacking Southampton seems to score a lot of goals. So knowing that we don't have Jack Harrison today, we have Dwight McNeil, is either occasionally an inverted right winger or it's Iliman and Jai. I think Iliman and Jai could be really interesting playing on that right side today.
Yeah, you mean if they switch?
There will be
Adam, unless we have two left wingers playing today. Abdoulaye Doucouré in the 10 and Beto. Harrison's on the bench. So one of them has to be left wing. One of them has to be right wing.
I think Ndai will go left and Dwight's on the right. That's what I think.
Yeah, we'll see. But I don't think the whole match that can be that way. I think they'll alternate on that right side. There's no way McNeil will cut in the entire game. I couldn't see it. But maybe. But whoever's on that right side, especially if it's Njai, I see that being a goal fest. Or opportunity that way.
I agree. I can see there being a lot of opportunities on that side, especially McNeil. You see what he did against Ipswich, and the one where was against Chelsea when he come in and he just missed. When he can come in, sneak in at that back post and do something. He is a clever lad. Is not very 2-footed. He's pure left foot, isn't he? But he is, and he'll exploit that position that's there as well. Fingers crossed. Anyway, fingers crossed he gets us a goal because I want as many goals as possible, as much action as possible for us to be so exciting, and I want it to be just such an experience for the fans that are there on the ground.
Yeah, I think we're under 10 minutes till kickoff, lads. It's getting pretty tight.
Yeah. Should we one last chance then? Chris, obviously me and you said what, 3-1, I said 4-0. Adam, before we sign off, mate, what's your prediction?
5-1.
5-1. There we go. It'll be a blowout for the Toffees either way.
It's a bit premature, but I had to.
Yeah, guys. So just remember, before you put the game on, to like, subscribe, especially through YouTube. It really helps the algorithm. We really appreciate it. Everyone enjoy it. And one last time at Goodison Park. Let's go. It's the Toffees.
Up the Toffees.
Up the Toffees.
Hey.
his stuff.